Gia Long Palace. Hello all my cuties. My name is Dinh Thị Thanh Mai. I am professional tour designer and the best international tour guide in Vietnam. Today I will feel very happy to become all of you beautiful tour guides. I would love to take all of you visits one of the most famous historical relics of my lovely country Vietnam. This palace under Bảo Đại King and under Prime Minister Ngo Dinh Diem is was called Gia Long Palace. Bảo Đại renamed the palace to Gia Long Palace. This palace was also the last residence of President of the Republic of Vietnam Ngo Dinh Diem. Beginning 27 February 1962, after the Rome Palace was bombed and particularly destroyed by the New Year's Air Force pilots. Please follow me, I will be your best tour guides. The main gate of Gia Long Palace. Ho Chi Minh City Museum has location at the corner of Nam Kỳ Khởi Nghĩa Street and Lý Tự Trọng in District 1. If all of you want go inside to visit, all of you need to buy entrance tickets. Tourists need to pay 30,000 dong. It's around $1.5 for one ticket. I am a tour guide. I have international tour guide license, so I can enter gate for free. 99% my international tourists visit Ho Chi Minh City of Vietnam. They will visit War Remnant Museums and Independence Palace. This Gia Long Palace is also famous, but only tourists really want to know all detailed information of Ho Chi Minh City. Or tourists really want to know about the architectural design of this Gia Long Palace. They want to go this museum to visit. Gia Long Palace now officially the Ho Chi Minh City Museum. It is a historical site and museum in Ho Chi Minh City. Ho Chi Minh City had former name called Saigon in Vietnam. The museum is situated at number 65 Lý Tự Trọng Street, District 1, Ho Chi Minh City. Located on 2 hectare of land near the Independence Palace. I made this video about Independence Palace. I share already on my YouTube channels. That video has almost 1 million views already. We can take a walk around 10 minutes. From Independence Palace to this Gia Long Palace, this Gia Long Palace had long history. It spans different periods of history such as under French Indochina, World War II era under the state of Vietnam, under the Republic of Vietnam, under Socialist Republic of Vietnam. This palace has super beautiful and big garden. Before we go inside Gia Long Palace to visit, I would love to take all of you visit one round of garden of this Gia Long Palace. We can see many famous historicals, fighter bombers, helicopters. Now let's discover the garden of this palace. We can see a 37 fighter inside garden. On 28 April 1975, the victory determination was commanded by Nguyễn Thành Trung, a captain of the Vietnamese People Army researchers. U-37 fighter which had just been sighted from the enemy, taking cops from Thanh Sơn Phan Rang Airport to attack Tân Sơn Nhất Airport. It destroyed 26 aircraft and cut off the urgent military aids of America of Saigon Army. We also can see F-5 fighter inside garden. On April 8, 1975, Nguyễn Thành Trung, a Vietnamese soldier who were secretly operating inside the Saigon Air Force. As a lieutenant drove this F-5 fighter to bomb the Independence Palace. We also can see UH-1 helicopter after April 30, 1975, overcoming way technical difficulty the Vietnamese Air Force. UH-1 helicopter shot from the enemy supported the land and Navy force which had destroyed base, headquarters, battlefield, boats and ships of the enemy in order to defy the assault. Anyway, I love this garden because this garden has a lot of beautiful trees. I see super beautiful big acacia trees. I guess this tree has over 100 years old. This Gia Long Palace is 130 years old now. So this acacia tree has around 100 years old. It's very normal things. This tree has supernatural powers. So stops in here, working in here, set up altar under the trees in order to avoid ghosts, evils. This palace had great location with four facets of palace with four famous roads. The road in my right hand side is the Pasteur Street. 5 minutes walk straight past the streets. We can see Notre Dame Cathedral and Ho Chi Minh Center Post Office. The roads in front of my face is Lý Tự Trọng Streets. Let me show all of you the street signboard. Look, all of you can see clear the names of 2 roads at the street corners. 2D roads are always very busy. Along 2D roads, we can see lot of old tamarind trees with lot of fruit. Now it's raining season, so we can see all the trees look very green. Today weather is hot. We can see view of the garden and palace looks super lovely. Now I would love to share for all of you lots of important information about history of Gia Long Palace. First, history under French Indochina. Construction of the palace began in 1885 and completed in 1890 and were designed by French architects after houses to house the Museum of Commercial Trades, exhibiting products and goods of the southern Vietnam. However, the building soon becomes the residence of the governor of Cochin, China, starting with Henry Alexander. Henry Alexander, born 1850 and died in 1898. In 1945, control of the palace changed hands several times. After the Japanese imperial armies toppled the colony regimes of French Indochina on March 9, French Governor Etienne Thomas Hopfeld were arrested and the palace became the residence for Japanese Governor Yoshio Minoda. On August 14, the Japanese handed over the palace to its puppets, Emperors of Vietnam government, to be used as a residence of Lieutenant General Nguyễn Văn Sâm. On August 25, the Viet Minh side arresting Nguyễn Văn Sâm and Secretary of the Office of the Lieutenant General Ho Văn Nga. After the building became the headquarters of the Provisional Administrative Committee of the Southern Vietnam, later renamed the People's Committee of Southern Vietnam. Tourists go to visit this Gia Long Palace They can go inside the main gate of buildings. In the right-hand side of palace, we can see a reception counter. You can request free tour guides. Now this palace becomes museum. Ho Chi Minh City Museum is controlled by Vietnam Government Office. Government use 9 big rooms to display content with 9 fixed sections. Now we go to visit first rooms. We need to take a walk 2 minutes in our right-hand side from the main gate. First rooms had the names Geography Administration of Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, with a collection of march charts, images, articles. The gallery presents an overview of the information and development process of Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City in terms of geography and administration, from a multi-basely plan for 50,000 people to the current city of over 6 million people. Ancient maps created from many cultures so that the network of the river and the canal is a fundamental element of the city structure. Currently, the system of the canal and rivers is replaced by the Boulevard Hàm Nghi Nguyễn Huệ. If tourists love to know detailed information of the development of Ho Chi Minh City, they will spend more hours to read careful all maps, articles, pictures, notes. If we continue to follow the visiting way direction, we will see natural archaeology of Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City. This room introduces geographical from geology, mineral, terrains, plants, river system lie up the ancient inhabitant 2,000 years ago with the working tool, stone edge, stone pick, jewelry, weapons, burial from found in archaeological vestiges of the Bến Đỗ, Gò Bông, Gò Cát, Gồng Cava, Gồng Phét, Gồng As relic in inner Ho Chi Minh. Now I continue to introduce for all of you the history of this palace under World War II eras. History under World War II eras. On September 10, 1945, troops from the British military missions occupied the palace and made it the Allies' mission headquarters, evicting their people committees. On October 5, 1945, the buildings were used by the General Leller as the temporary headquarters of the High Commissions for the French Republic in Indochina. After Admiral Charles Thierry Archin Liu from the High Commission selected Ngo Dinh Palace to be the Commission's new location, the palace was used as Leclerc's office, this time as the official headquarters of the Minister of the French Republic in southern Vietnam. This room had the biggest windows. From the window, we can see lovely gardens. The winds from outside make me feel cool. Oh my God, I am really enjoying cool winds. This palace had great architectural designs. They can use natural winds. They don't need to spend money for aircons. Now I would love to share for all of you history under the state of Vietnam. After the French reconquest of Indochina, on June 2, 1948, the French government handed over the building to the provisional government of the state of Vietnam, establishing its headquarters there. It was later transformed into the palace of the Premier serving as official resident of the Premier of the State of Vietnam. Starting with the Premier Trần Văn Hữu. On January 9, 1950, a large protest of over 6,000 student and educational instructors demanded the release of the students arrested for advocating Vietnamese independence. At 1 p.m., Premier Trần Văn Hữu orders the police to squash the protest, arresting 150 people, injuring 30, and one student, Trần Văn Ơn, from the Petrus Key High School, died from the school. Trần Văn Ơn funeral on 12 has 50,000 attendants. We are visiting the commercial port, trade serves of Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City. With more than 527 artifacts, 30 photos, and 10 maps, the galleries introduce an overview of the roles of the Saigon economic centers. For the southern region in particular and the country in general through the following issues: Saigon Port, Bến Thành Market, and Old Markets, ancient Chinese shop, ancient artifacts, transformation system with car terminals, train station, airports. This room is sharing great information about commercial port trade service of Saigon. I love to read and see all information in this room. Now please follow me, we go out. This area is the main lobby of palace. We can see super big and colorful ceiling light. In the middle of main lobby areas, we also can see super big and beautiful stair. This stair made of wood and it has very lovely architectural designs. The wall in left-hand side of star has lovely picture of Vietnamese lady with city horse. Now we go to visit all the rooms. This room has name Industry and Handicraft of Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City. When first time I entered this room, I loved its super beautiful ceiling light systems. This room is introducing a number of traditional handicrafts and industrial features in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City from the end of 19th century to the beginning of the 20th centuries. With nearly 300 artifacts and images are displayed on of pottery and craft trades, bronze cutting, jewelry making, weaving, wood carving. Some of the city's first industrial in the late 19th to early 20th century concentrated industrial yarns. From 1954 to 1975, current high-tech yarns. The room has the door to go out walking corridor. Along walking corridor, we can see a lot of windows. We can see great views of the gardens through the windows. All the windows are originally windows which has made by French in 1885. I see some parts of the wall have skin is pulling up now. We can see all the room with traditional Vietnamese wedding celebrations. Now we are visiting the room has name Customs of Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City. This room is introducing custom belief arts and education of Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City. This gallery depicts the traditional weddings of four ethnic groups of Viet, Cham, Chinese, and Khmer, custom of the Peter cheerings, beliefs of the mother worship, Thanh Hoàng worships, land god, lucky god, collection of the musical instrument, custom, props, and the photo of some famous reformer play of the Reformed theaters, traditional theater arts of the Khmer ethnic groups. Especially the showroom also introduced educational material in Saigon were propagating the natural language and the first published press in Vietnam. Now we follow the visiting way directions. We go up to visit second floors. Now I would love to share for all of you history under Republic of Vietnam. From June 26 to September 7, 1954, this palace was used as the temporary official residence of the Prime Minister Ngo Dinh Diem. Since Ngo Dinh Palace was still occupied by French High Commissioner Jean-Paul Ellis, Bảo Đại renamed this palace to Gia Long Palace, and its streets were renamed Gia Long Streets. From last year, this was also the last residence of the President of the Republic of Vietnam, Ngo Dinh Diem. Beginning 27 February 1962, after Ngo Dinh Palace was bombed and partially destroyed by munition Air Force pilots, Diem has been Prime Minister since 1954 and President since 1955, but originally lived in the independent palace until it was bombed by two munition pilots of the Republic of Vietnam Air Force. As a result, Diem had to relocate and ordered a new palace to be built. Moving to Gia Long Palace in the interim, it was the last place Diem worked before his assassination on 2 November 1963 in a corps d'etat. After you go up second floor with the normal stair, you will see a lot of lovely windows. You can enjoy great winds and great views. From lovely garden, you also can see Highland coffee shop down there. If all of you want to buy coffee, you can go there and buy later. Now I will take up you visit all the rooms. The room had named Vietnam currencies. This room is introduced 1,086 artifacts, including collection of coin, banknotes, and bonuses through historical periods in Vietnam. There are many of period money cutting processes. Some documents related to monies. In addition to fixed displays mentioned above at the Museum of Ho Chi Minh City, there are thematic galleries. And outside the building, there is a display area for the number of aircraft, vehicle, weapon, gas, wooden boats, ancient mirrors. Now please follow me. We will visit our handside area. We can see long corridor with a lot of historical items such as wooden boats, units, ceramic vase, and sewing machine. Resident memorabilia rooms. This room is displaying all artifacts and relics, accompany the lives and the fire of the cast, soldiers, and motifs during their 30 years of resistance, including artifact groups, relics of motifs, recognition of Yari regimes, artifacts of the frontline literatures, personal equipment of Trường Sơn soldiers, camera, commodore of the war correspondence, prison souvenir of revolution soldier, Hoàng Cầm kitchen model singing resistance. This room is displaying a lot of issues. Geneva Conference on Endings the War in Indochina on July 21, 1954, Đồng Khởi Movement in 1960, Cu Chi Tunnel, the birth of the National Front for Liberation of the South Vietnam. On 20 December 1960, Tet Offensive 1968, Provisional Revolution Government of the Republic of South Vietnam were established on June 6, 1969. Paris Conference on 27 January 1973, Operation Ho Chi Minh 1975, the famous picture tank of the North Vietnam, attacked Independence Palace on 30 April 1975. We also can see a lot of information about movement of the country fighting for the people of Vietnam. Now we will leave this room and we go out area of second floors. From this area we can see main stair. The glass window of the palace has very beautiful architectural designs. Tourists can go down first floor with this stair. History under Socialist Republic of Vietnam after the North Vietnamese Communist invasion of the South Vietnam. On 12 August 1978, Ho Chi Minh City People Committees ordered that the former Supreme Court be used at the Ho Chi Minh City Revolutionary Museum, later renamed to its current name, Ho Chi Minh City Museums. On 13 December 1999, there are many doors and windows on the corridors. We can see super beautiful views of balcony and Ho Chi Minh City. I would love to share for all of you some information about architecture of palace. Architecture of palace. The second floor palace building covers an area over 1,700 meters square using classic Baroque architectures with European and Oriental influence. The flooring, staircase, and the hall were European style, while the roofs were Oriental inspired. Surrounding the palace is a topside shop, flower garden with 4 pathways. The front face of the roofs is decorated with roasted grapes. Other exterior structure design includes symbol like chicken representing daytime, and ox for nighttime, and ring enclosed with flowers. Many other motifs embossed on the roofs is a combination of Greek mythology symbol, iconic plants, and tropical animals such as geezer and the birds flying, expanding its Diem commission to the construction of 3 extremely deep tunnels leading from the palace to other parts of the city, so that he and important government official military figures could escape in the event of a collapse during the 1963 coup d'etat. Diem is widely believed to have used one of the named escape routes to the escape site on the palace, which caused considerable damage. He fled to the supported house in Gia Long, which were captured and executed a day later. The successor president still worked there until the completion of the rebuild. We also can see this room E, displaying lots of artifacts about Ho Chi Minh trails. On the corridor, we can see a lot of ancient building models. The lady is sitting in these tables. She is a local tour guide of this palace. Now we go to visit another room. This room had the name Revolutionary Struggle from 1930 until 1954. Revolutionary Struggle 1930-1994. This room highlights the movements of political struggle since the Vietnamese Communist Party was born on 3rd February 1930s, with many examples of sacrifice. In addition, the gallery also reproduced somewhat of the Independence Days. Views at Notre Dame Square, Saigon. On September 2nd, 1945, and the 9-year Resistance War. Now please follow me, we go to visit the main balcony of this palace. From the main lobby of second floor, we can see 3 doors. One door in the middle doesn't open. We can go out with one smaller door. I see 2 cute young girls are preparing for taking lots of their great pictures. When we go outside these main balconies, we can see one big Vietnamese national flag. From this balcony, we can see the views of Palace Gia down there. Today, sun is super hot and strong. I can make great videos. 2 cute girls are taking pictures. From this balcony, we can see architectural design of palace very clear. We can see the face with hermes, or we can see the face of antennas. French architecture at first forge use lots of hermes and antenna face to decorate for Gia Long Palace. Young generations in Vietnam or Asian countries, they love to take pictures to upload on their private social media page, such as Facebook, Yellow, Instagrams. I also have Facebook, but I don't have free time. Now I will take all of you visit the corridor of second floor. We can see a Vespa with Mr. Huỳnh Hữu Lâm, used to collect communists and transport weapons documents from An Giang to Saigon from 1970 until 1975. We also can see very old Suzuki motorbike. When I was younger, I saw my neighbors use this kind of motorbike. Communist soldiers used these motorbikes from 1968 until 1971. We also can see very old printing machines. From 1965 until 1969, from Gia Dinh government used this machine to print newspapers, flash documents. We also can see very old style of cows and buffalo carriage. Before, my country was very poor. Local farmers used the kinds of buffaloes or cow carriage to carry anything. We also can see bamboo baskets to keep rice. After visiting one round of second floors, I am using the main stair to go down. This stair has location in the middle of buildings. The stair made of wood. This stair still looks so beautiful. Even every day, a lot of tourists go up and down. This lies decoration of this stair. This stair becomes very famous area for a lot of couples or tourists. I see a lot of couples take pictures for their weddings with this stair. 100% tourists go to visit this palace. They will go here as main stair to take hundreds of pictures. I see a lot of couples, they take pictures with this main stair 1 or 2 hours. Hello, I am here. I arrived at this building at 9 a.m. Now 11:30 a.m. so I already spent almost 2.5 hours to go around this Gia Long Palace to make videos. I am feeling hungry and tired already. At the main lobby area, I see there are 4 different chairs. I am sitting at one of the chairs to take a rest a little bit. Later, I will go to garden to make video about secret tunnel to share for all of you. This morning, I only ate a little bit vegetables. Morning, we need to eat good foods so that we have enough energy for whole days. But this morning, I was very hurry. I only ate vegetables, so I need to rest now. I am the first visitor this morning. Normally, I am a tour guide. I have international tour guide license. When I take my tourists go here to visit, I don't need to buy entrance gate tickets. But from January until now, COVID-19 is transmitting anywhere around the world. My international tourists can't visit Vietnam. At the moment, I also can't work in tourism. This morning, I can enter gate free. But I don't want. I want to buy entrance tickets. I want to enjoy with visitor feelings. I am sitting and resting in here around 15 minutes. From now, I see a lot of visitors. I guess 50% of them are students. So, COVID-19 in Vietnam, the government of Vietnam can control pandemics very good. So we don't need to lock down. Society and people still can go anywhere inside Vietnam country easily. Now, please follow me. We go to visit one of the most famous secret tunnels under Gia Long Palace. Sun is becoming super strong now. The view of the public park in front of this Gia Long Palace is so green. I also can see super big acacia tree in the public park. Secret tunnel under palace. The birth of the tunnel stem from the fact that the independent palace suffers from the bomb damage in February 1962. That time, Ngo Dinh Diem and Mr. Ngo Dinh Diem moved to the Gia Long for the temporary residence in fear of another bomb attack too. The independent palace, the whole Ngo family thought of designing a shelter. At first, the architect Ngo Vittal were assigned to design the basements, but later he moved to the United States. At the resort, this design was implemented by the engineer Phan Dinh Tang. This work began in May 1962 and ended in October 30, 1963. The total expense was over $12.5 million, a huge amount at that time. The tunnel was dug 4 meters deep and built of reinforced cement. 170 kilograms of iron cubic meter of concrete with a 1 meter wall intake. By design, the tunnel is able to withstand 500 kilogram cannon and bombs. The total area of the tunnel is approximately 1,400 square meters. The two heads of the main buildings are two stairs leading to the tunnels. The tunnel is divided into 6 rooms, interconnected through corridors. Some parts of the foundation of tunnels are cemented or paved with cement tiles. The tunnel has access to Nam Kỳ Khởi Nghĩa and passed with 2 small blockhouses. The doors are underground rooms are made of monolithic steel. To open and close the doors, they turn the rudder that is similar to that of the ships. Inside the rooms are large iron bolts that could be fastened with treble cords. The tunnel has the staircase leading to the case problem came only after 5 minutes. The essential would be brought downwards, full of the communication systems connected to the outside. The top of the tunnel is camouflaged by parts of the oriental plans along with the line electric systems. Clean water and tram are also fully equipped so that the tunnel will operate effectively. Consequently, the tunnel is partially open to visitors traveling in Vietnam, you should visit Gia Long Palace to learn more about Vietnamese histories. Thanks a lot for watching my long videos. I am feeling so hungry now. I go inside this restaurant to have lunch. This is a very clean and beautiful restaurant. Mien Dong Thao Cafe is my first time come here. See all of you again in other videos. Please subscribe my YouTube channels.